Richard Simon, and of course, the issue has to do with his stay on death row as well as his stay in the general population after spending 16 years on death row. Let's pick that up again, Richard.
Well, Dr. Haney, like I said, getting off death row and coming to general population was a big transition, just like getting out of prison, coming back into society was a big transition. But out here, I could ask for help. And there, the condition and mindset you put on the front. So I was still going through putting on the hits, saying like I was all right, it wasn't hurting. So I had a hard transitional period, but it was made easier by some of the friends and some of my spiritual brothers. They helped me along the way, and they said I was frustrated. But one of my reasons for coming today was to try to give something back because of my blessing and my mercy, and extend an invitation out there to the young people, man. If you want to learn about prison, you don't have to go to learn about it. There's many people that's willing to let you know that if you can avoid it, don't go. So I throw this out there. Any young person that's curious about prison, just call me, man. Don't catch no case, cause you don't want to do it like that. But prison, just like, man, we talk about the young people. You see the young guys coming there, and man, when I got locked up, it was a lot of quote unquote, no disrespect to the audience, is a lot of homosexual behavior. We call them booty bandits. And then nowadays, a lot of them young guys running out their pants, hanging out their behind. A lot of us old heads couldn't understand how the young people could be advertising themselves like that in that type of environment. And so that's what we're saying, that the younger generation, which is partly our fault because we weren't there to guide them and direct them, give them a proper motivation and that kind of stuff, they were led astray by the masses or by the streets of their desires. I don't know who all to blame, but I think we all share the blame. And the prison has changed. You know, when the young people came in, it wasn't no self-respect. It wasn't no respect for your cellmate. It was a lot of drama. You know, it was a lot of stuff that, like they say, oil and water don't mix. Sometimes old and young don't mix because, you know, they don't want, when you take a guy, quote unquote, was making $10,000 a week doing this thing, how you gonna listen to a guy that's, you know, been in prison 20 years, said, man, you ain't got nothing. I got 5 houses out there. So a lot of people got caught up into the material thing, and prison strips you of that. And once you realize that you don't have anything but what the state issues you or allow you to have, it really put me back in perspective. No matter what, I had my goals and my dreams, but if they didn't open the door, I couldn't get out. I was like powerless in prison. All the stuff I wanted to do, it was just thoughts. I was like powerless. That's not a good feeling for a man. You know what I mean? It wasn't a good feeling for me. So I was trying to get my empowerment back, which was quote unquote trying to get out of prison. And how do you get out of prison? Put yourself in a position that you're worthy of a second chance. Because I was guilty of the crime I committed, so I couldn't, find a loophole. I had to throw myself on the mercy of the parole board. And when you do that, you gotta have a good record. You know what I mean? You can't be acting a fool then say, okay, let me back out in society. I'm gonna be all right. You gotta show good character. And I wasn't just trying to show good character to get out. I wanted to stay out. So I was trying to adopt some behavior to where if I did get out, I wouldn't be back in this situation again. So I was constantly trying to be better. And then I was working. As you know, I hurt my eyesight while I was working, and believe it or not, that didn't deter me. I still wanted to be a nice person, quote unquote, when I got out and be worthy of a second chance. And my religious environment, my spirituality, basically is the main reason to why I got some understanding about what my purpose in life was. My purpose in life is not to chase all the women, not make all the money, not have all the cars. It's to aid the person next to me, to help my neighbor. Be a good part of the community. If someone's in trouble, move that and lay them out their way. Because, oh man, you gotta help. Yes, you do gotta help somebody because my mother might need some help. My child might need some help. So you gotta reap what we sow. We gotta send it out. So for me, spirituality, Islam, as my wife was telling me the other night, saved my life. It changed my mindset. Now, it's not gonna save me. I'm not gonna live forever. But I'm gonna live a life to where, to the point to where I'm not gonna be bitter. I'm not gonna hate. So it saved my spiritual life. It made me back a happy person. Because how can you be so happy you lost your eyesight? Because, man, life is good. I can be alive and blind, or I can be dead with my eyesight. Which do I want? You know, I had 2 choices made. I want to go back to death row. People said, man, if you wouldn't get off death row, you had your eyesight. But come on, man, I'd have been dead. You know what I mean? So if I got a choice. So if I had to accept being in population, vision impaired, I was thankful for that. I was learning to show gratitude to the Creator. I was learning to be respectful to the guards. They had a job there. They wasn't there just to punish me and dazzle me. They there feeding their family. So if I'm having a bad day about being in prison, I ain't got to put it on the guard. You know, how you doing, sir? You know what I mean? I ain't saying try to be his buddy, but then again, don't make his job hard. Don't make, you know, you learn to fit in, get in where you fit in, and slowly but surely, we often hear that a journey of 1,000 miles go step by step.
Very good.
And slowly but surely, I was able to evolve into a decent human being. Now, a lot of people in prison seen that, but still a lot of old friends and family thought I still was the same. And the test really came once I got out of prison. Because, you know, once you out, what do you do? You know, do you go back to what you was doing, or do you really pray and say, okay, give me the strength to stay on the straight path? That's why some people frown upon a Muslim praying 5 times a day. If I can make my prayers 5 times a day, I had a good day. You know, I ain't done nothing negative. I done went before my God 5 times. So for me, that type of discipline in prison, and me practicing that outside of prison, which has got me cool. I've been out close to 2.5 years, almost 30 months, and I'm still a Muslim. You know, I've been fortunate enough to help charter a mosque. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of some nice things to help people. So if you stick to what keeps you alive in prison and keeps you sane and that kind of stuff, and you practice those type of habits when you get out, there's a good chance you won't get out. And so that's what me and a bunch of my friends or comrades we're trying to do. We're trying to give back to help people and keep a reminder to ourselves of where we come from. I'm in constant contact with a lot of prisoners in prison, let them know that they're close. And the same token, remind me that I'm close. You know what I mean? That hey, at one time, I was making a phone call. You know what I mean? At one time, I was asking somebody to do me a favor.
Somebody else,
right. So I'm feeling that now, not a burden, but I'm feeling what it's like to be an outlet for someone. And how people say, oh man, you a light to me, Rich. I said, I ain't nowhere in the world a person in prison, but now I got some friends that's still locked up. That when they call me, it really puts me in a good mood to hear they still striving and that I'm still out. Because I used to have dreams in prison about waking up and being out. And several times I done had dreams outside, waking up and still being in. So your mind played tricks on you. And then that's why, you know, people talk about bad association. You know, you speak
but your mind carried you there.
Yeah.
It carried you out. It got you out.
And just it can be done. Now, and a lot of times people think that if you do good things will come your way. You gotta learn to do good because it's the right thing to do. And that don't have any expectation about doing good. Sometimes good comes from doing good. Don't let that be the root of why you help somebody that you want something in return. Don't let that be the root to why you know you stop doing it serious because this, that, and other. Just I learned to do what's right because it's the right thing to do. And maybe my mom always tell me if she treats someone right, maybe someone would treat her kids right, and vice versa. You know what I mean? If I'm kind to someone I meet, respectful, maybe someone meets someone I love, they'd be kind and respectful to them. Because one of my biggest fears was I was in prison for armed robbery and a violent charge because someone died as a result of my actions. And I was in fear that something would happen to my family member. How would I, we reap what we sow? I was wondering when it was going to come back. I believed wholeheartedly that whatever we do come back to us. And I knew what I did. And I was always been waiting to get the phone call that something violent happened to my family. And through the grace and mercy of our Creator, so far so good that, you know, He's been protecting me or been answering my prayers to the point that my grandmother was still alive, my mom was still alive, and all that kind of stuff. And she hadn't had to bury none of her kids. So I would encourage anyone who has problems, growing pains, you know, they got a lot of stuff with gang issues. Just be strong enough to pull yourself away. Be strong to ask for some help. Don't try to go it on your own. You know, talk to your mother and your father. Talk to somebody that can deal with the bully, quote unquote. You know, you can't, you know, man, you can't deal with a giant, but you might have to get another giant to deal with a giant. You know, and maybe the 2 giants can compromise and say, okay, let me have this one and this, that, another. So if you're out there having some problems, you don't want to go to prison, but you're heading that way, don't be afraid.
And you ought to be able to tell when you're heading that way, don't you
That's
think?
right, that's right, that's right. If you are doing illegal things, or if you're surviving off illegal things, if your whole life is based on negativity, understand that negativity is going to destroy you and all that's around you in the long run. You know, you can get what you want, you know what I mean? You can get it today, but tomorrow it's going to come back to you. You know, because a lot of people do things and don't even get to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Someone else enjoys it.
Okay.
You can realize,
Very
you know what
good.
I mean? Whatever you do, make it so you can benefit from it. You can be proud of what you do. It's like coming talking to you. it's a good thing for me to get out and talk to someone about something I'm trying to do
Richard,
better.
we're going to have to end this over the last 15 seconds, but you will say God is good.
God is
And
great.
I would say the same thing.
God is great.
And I appreciate you coming by and giving us that
Appreciate you.
information.
Thank
and
you,
let me
Doctor.
encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you,
Thank
Doctor.
you. Appreciate you.
All right.